Welcome again, everyone, to Jerry's Old Guy Review with Jerry and the crew. Are you just going to look at me, or are you going to do anything? Nothing. So as I told you, in my new channel format, it's not really a new channel format. I've done this before, but I've only done it one vehicle at a time. 1 year in. Ooh, that's scuffed. Let's take that off for now. So today's topic is MST. Now, those of you that followed me last January, I got into, because of the situation I was in, I decided to try to investigate some low dollar RCs. I've got some WLs. I've got MST. We've got Charisma. And I guess I should quickly back up, because an event that I brought up last year, and pretty much since the channel started, was the bad mouthing and the just generally degrading a vehicle because it wasn't a name brand vehicle. Well, the biggest complaint generally was it was crap from China. Well, if we think about it, generally every RC car on the market is sublet out to China. Now, Axial used to use Taiwan. Now, Taiwan, even in the automotive world, parts from Taiwan, things from Taiwan in general, were considered better. But meanwhile, now that Horizon Hobbies has taken over everybody, now Axial products are made in China. If any company tells you that everything they use is made in the United States, they're wrong. And they're telling you stories. Because a lot of companies now are using rebranded Hobbywing products. Hobbywing is an excellent product. Even the rebranded stuff is excellent. It's just one of those flukes where something that was low dollar turned into an excellent product. And that's what made me so mad about companies like Charisma and MST were getting a bad rap in general. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've had these for a while now, and I love them. In my opinion, if it puts a smile on your face while you're doing it, it's worth it. So, with that being said, let's dwell on the MSTs, because we have the MFX, the CMX. They're a little weird with their, what is that? Max speed technology. That is what MST stands for. The CMX, which isn't new, but they put them on the market. They see what people don't like about them, and then they improve on it. Now, you cannot lie, first off, that MST makes beautiful bodies. They've got drift cars, they've got crawlers, they've got monster trucks. And they just make them beautiful, which in retrospect, most of us that buy an RC car buy it because of what it looks like. Now, I've had Red Cats for years, but did I need to get the Gen 8? Not necessarily. But meanwhile, it's an International Scout. You got an FJ40. You got a Jimny. It's different. It's not a Wrangler, for all of you who have followed me for any amount of time. You know I have a poor opinion of anything Wrangler. That is what used to be, back in its CJ days, designed for the every working man. Now a Wrangler is a status symbol, and it is not capable for off-road applications unless you replace everything on it. An FJ40, you throw some big tires on it in real life, and you've got an ultimate off-roader. You take a CJ 5, 7, 6, no matter what, throw some big tires on it, it's going to go and it's going to take you and have fun. Same thing with the Jimny. The Jimny is adorable and it's small. But meanwhile, the Jimnys, which we sold them in the United States as the Suzuki Sidekick, it's still a Jimny. One of the most popular vehicles to throw a V6 or a V8 in to go rock crawl with. Maybe we should throw a bunch of Jimnys on the market. Let's throw some Toyotas on the market. Let's throw different vehicles. We've got Land Rovers. Yes, capable. And then all the RC Jeeps are Wranglers. Whoa, except for Red Cat. When they came out with the Marksman, it's a Commando. Commander. Multiple vehicles they made back in the real Jeep days. But here we go. MST. This is the CMX, and it's a ready to run with Hobby Wing rebranded gear in it, and it'll cost you $227. Is it realistic? Yes. It's got a live front end, just like a real Jimny, but the only difference is that we sacrificed some of the scale, because that is where the holy grail is. If it's scale or if it's going to be capable. If you make it capable, you're going to lose some scale. If you make it scale, you're going to lose the capability. That's just the way the real world works. Which is, if you put a servo on chassis, you're going to have extra lines, extra links that are going to put a lot of extra stress on the servo. But meanwhile, it's going to look scale, but you're going to lose capability because it's more realistic. Now, if you go like MST did, both of these vehicles, standard portal with the axles. Both are servo on axles. Now, if you look at the RC world, you're going to have capable, dedicated off-road vehicles that are made to just be crazy climbing, crawling super machines. They're going to have the servo on the axle. It shortens the link. It puts less stress on the servo. And it's going to be slammed to the ground and just this crazy, creepy, crawly thing. But it's not going to work on the trail. So to blend those two, you have to take away a little bit of the scale to make it capable. So you can get kind of the best of both worlds. But here you go, $227. The MST CFX-W, which is this one, has portal axles on it, which also has servo on axle. So you've got some capability, more than you would if you went full-blown scale. You've got a nice hard body in the rear with a nice detailed body up front. You've got a hinge system on it. This one, at $348 as a kit, still puts it, in my opinion, way below the name brands. Because I literally threw in what I had. I had a Hobby Wing 1080. I had a Spectrum. What was this? The SLR 300. So that radio is, which conveniently it came out of, what is this? The SLT3. So that was the radio that was originally in the Axial 3, but the SCX-10-3. But I wanted a 5-channel, so I swapped them out and had a radio laying around. So literally I took, for the $348, I took a crawler motor from RC 4-wheel drive I had in the bin, and radio gear laying around that I had in the bin. So I had already bought this, and it was just sitting around. And what did I do? Oh, was trying out the EcoPower, what is that? The WP110 servo for the steering. But here you go. You've got all the bells and whistles of a $500+ vehicle. You got the motor and tranny up front now. It used to be the other way around. They used to want you to put the battery up front for the weight. Now most companies are going with motor, transmission up front, battery in the rear. Which, with the new LiPo batteries, they are pretty light. But, boom. It's got some nice side rails. It's got some very nice looking shocks on it, which so far work great. But when you hear the complaints on this vehicle, it's too top heavy, blah, blah, blah. There's that blend. Are you going to be able to make a very realistic scale looking vehicle that's going to conquer every obstacle? It's very tough to do it in real life. And it's tough to do in an RC world, which, in my opinion, I would rather take a completely scaled vehicle and see what it can do. And that's what I've done with the Jimny. This little sucker is so much fun because it's got, as you can see, little tires, like stock, a little bit bigger maybe than you'd get on a stock one. It's got rock sliders on it. It's got a nice little dealio on the front to cover up, or attempt to cover up, the servo. And of course that is just chewed up. But, you know, my little secret, I've been around since the 80s with RC cars. And back in those days, they were more built like a real car. So it was always fun to see what you could get it to do like you were operating a real car, but without the worry. But this has just been so much fun to see what it can do. I've had zero issues with it. You know, the front diff and the front links are pretty chewed up. You know, and there we go. A lot of people, oh, we should put the links behind there, blah, blah. Well, this is the way it is on a real vehicle. The links up front, where it's exposed to all that potential damage for steering. In my opinion, MST nailed this one out of the park. It came for that low dollar amount. What was that? $227 as a kit. Came with a 26 turn motor up front, or battery up front, motor and transmission midway. But it came with fender liners and just this little bit of extra doodads. Nice front bumper. You can put lights in there. You can put a winch in there if you could figure out where to put the dang thing inside of there. But that's the tinkering. You take what you get, see how it performs, and then you have to take into account that this is scaled after a real vehicle. So what can the real version do? Is this similar? You know, and then little things like making it look better. So I get these racks. I've got a couple now. I've got one on the Scout, and this one was for a Gladiator axial SCX-10-3 that I bought from Scale by Chris, and then I promptly lost the screws to hold it on. So I need to figure out where those are. But meanwhile, are these just as much fun, low dollar, as, you know, Red Cat, not much more expensive, Traxxas, way more expensive, you know, Element, not as bad in the expense department for the extras you get. You know, then we've got Axials and more Traxxas and Axials. Okay, we'll just cut with that right now. These right here, I have had a lot of fun with, and that's all that's important to me. When it comes to the way MST, when you build a kit, this kit is more heavy duty in my opinion, and the R&D just seemed more thought out because of how tight and how precise everything fits on one of these kits compared to building an Axial kit or a Traxxas kit, both of which give you very detailed, excellent instructions. But this MST, to me, now I have to say the biggest test of plastics I own the market on. North Pole, Alaska gets cold. And if nothing breaks on these rigs at below zero temperatures, that to me is excellent. But of course, by the time I have temperatures that cold, there's snow on the ground. And snow does, I don't think there is a company who's made a rock crawler scaled vehicle that can conquer snow. I've tried it for years. I even built the Traxxas TRX4 Sport. That's my snow truck. Even that truck will get buried out there pretty quick. So we can't count snow, but temperatures with plastic is where it's at. And I've had both of these out at sub-zero temperatures, and so far nothing's broke. So to me, that tells me not only are these for a low dollar, they are spending time with their plastic design. You know, we all know from the SCX-10-3 that they had some issues with plastics. But meanwhile, I have a Traxxas Slash that I bought years ago that I think that just came from a bad batch. Almost every plastic part on it that had some sort of load-bearing activity that it was supposed to perform broke. So you can't automatically just rag on everybody. You know, I don't get these sent to me. I buy these myself. So they're not going away. And even if I was in the position where I sold something to somebody else, I would want some status updates, and I would want to know what they've done with it, what they put it through, if they start complaining about it breaking all of a sudden. Because I'll tell you, you know, for the Versaplex, the jerry-rigged Versaplex out back, we all see that I've got rock crawling courses, I've got, you know, log crawling courses, and that's just standard driving. And I haven't broke much of anything. So people who complain about these cheap things breaking, this poor little guy, he has climbed to where he could, and he's flipped and rolled. And other than it being adorable, I haven't broken a damn thing on it. So there we go. The purpose of this is mainly, give something that might have a bad rep with certain people. If you're getting all your information from the YouTube, watch the videos and see what kind of things are perfect in some people's opinions, and then look at things that other people, which it's all over now, and it warms my heart. So many of these vehicles that have gotten bad reps over the years, they're coming out now. Suddenly people like them. And I've liked these two for a year now. And for all the haters or the naysayers, hey, here's a less than $300 kit that you'll have fun and put a smile on your face. You can put lights in it, you can put a winch on it, you can put bigger tires on it if you want, but see what it does out of the box. Even a $800 Vanquish, I've seen plenty of reviews that right out of the box, the tires suck, or it doesn't do this, and they're instantly upgrading it. I'd rather upgrade a $200 vehicle. You think about it, that's $227. I can get a lot of upgrades for $800. So if I wanted to jack that up another, $590, I could put a lot of stuff on that. This truck so far, it has not made me say, oh my God, why did I buy that? It's a piece of junk. It looks gorgeous. Of course, it didn't come painted, I painted it. But this right here, little things. I'd like some fender liners on it, but what the hell? I'll get to it. But it's basic and it works. So there you go. Anybody might have been on the fence. Go give it a try. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to the other big names. Did I just throw my... No, I didn't throw myself in that group. Because I generally disagree with them all the time. So, if you're on a budget, don't just automatically think that you have to get a name brand. Try. They're in the market still for a reason. MST's been making vehicles for a long time. They're in the market for a reason. People are buying it. So give them a try. Don't go name brand all the time. Try something inexpensive. That's what I did. I tried these two this past year, and I am quite pleased with my purchase. And you're building a kit, you can play with it. The stickers that come with these kits are great. The bodies are great. They're just going to be a little off. So if you're anal about all your trucks being mainly in the same scale, the Jimny is going to be in perfect scale because it's a small truck. The FJ40 and some of their other truck bodies, they're a little bit small. So get a couple of them so you can drive them together. These right here, perfect scale. MST not only does their own thing, they even make their bodies their own way. So you don't have to buy expensive to have fun with RC. So on that note, 1 year in, I love my MSTs. This one's getting some more detailing, and it needs to go see how it does out on the icy snow course. So until the next one, this is Jerry, Old Guy Review, signing off and going back out to bury myself. Bye-bye.